Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
So I feel like I wanted to throw myself into the fire, as it were, with you, because I've felt racism before because I loved a different race. Okay. I felt racism before because I'm white and they were black, and that was wrong. I felt racism for my kids before. My son, the day is Hispanic, and the day after Trump was elected, in the hallways of the school,
Why did I not think about this?
people were yelling at him, "Get back over the wall, you Mexican." I've experienced it on a visceral level. I'm not an African American. I'm not going to even try to compare what I've experienced to that of what an African American might have experienced, because the shit is way deeper. And I agree with that. I don't have to be afraid when I get pulled over.
Right.
So I'm not going to compare myself, but I've experienced it. I have kids who experience it. My husband, I can't talk about that. There's a lot of scenarios where in these upper levels of businesses, right, your executive levels, it's a table of all white males, right? And there might be one black male,
okay. You pushing it,
brown,
but yeah, it might be
but
one.
yeah,
Yep.
But I know a scenario, let's just say, where there is one, right, and it's not right. So I feel like I might have been able to bring a different perspective, and I think it's so important, because I think until we bring the idea of racism being something that anybody can experience, and that black people can be racist, and Hispanic, Puerto Rican people can be racist amongst each other. Racism could hurt people of all colors, of all sexes, of all religion. And until we acknowledge that and realize it's not a black and a white thing, or a white thing against black people, I don't think we're going to make a change. I don't think.
And if you ask me, a lot of times it's not even designed to make a change for the higher ups. It's monetary gain for a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And I appreciate you sharing the experience about how it's a thing within your community as well, because it's definitely a light skin, dark skin thing within my community. It's always been, if you darker, if you black, you're being made fun of. The darker you are, you're being made fun of. Because as Chris James put, shout out to you, Chris James, chrisjamesjourney.com, go check him out. He said, just the last episode before this one, he said, if you're, what did he say? The closer to, how did he put it? If you're not dark, and the closer to white you are, the closer to right you are. That's what he said. The closer to white, the closer to right. So that means if the farther away you get from being light or white, the farther away you get from being right. And it's crazy that he put it like that. And I think it's going to be a great segue. You talked about how you dealt with that unfortunate experience with the father of your first child. Yeah.
No, second.
Second child. Okay, that's right. He's older. Your other son is 12. Okay, your second child. And that was you all were basically in love, and the grandparents didn't want anything to do with the grandbaby. If you don't mind me asking, is this something that changed over time?
Yeah. Once they got the paternity test, and I proved. Right, I proved
because you
to
were just
them
automatically a slut just because of.
I proved that their grandchild was their grandchild. They had a document saying that. Then all of a sudden it was, come to our house, stay for the weekend, be around us. Let's take you to our church. We're so proud to have you as part of our family. It was a very weird situation, and I didn't end up. Him and I didn't end up working out in the long run, and I will say, God had a different plan. I met my husband, and he is amazing. We're so in love, and God made him for me, and
congratulations.
Thank you. I feel really blessed to have that. I waited a long time. I prayed a long time, but I think aside from the whole fate thing, one of the main reasons I didn't work out is because we didn't have that family support. His family didn't want him to marry a white woman, right?
Wow.
So
important. Family is so
so our family was broken apart before it even was allowed to begin. And I just got lucky. But I was a single parent for a long time. You talk about your experience being a child raised in a single parent household. It makes a difference. I'm sorry. It does. Having a mother and father in the same household who love each other and who grow together and set that example. A child is raised differently that way, right? So this family prevented that scenario from happening. And I really do believe that. Now, I will say, after they got the document saying he really was their grandson, they flipped the script and they loved him. They supported him. They raised him. They, when I was in college, when I was a single parent, they took care of him. I mean, and they did. And they're wonderful grandparents. But now his dad is married to an African-American male or woman, and they have this amazing family together, and it's just the best thing ever. And I'm always the white baby mama, the mistake that happened in college. You know, and it's just...
First time I've ever heard this experience flipped.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this happens. And I encourage you to do this. When you're walking around the campus and you see all these interracial couples, go up and talk to the white girl or man, or the Hispanic girl or man, and ask how racism has affected them. I'm not taking anything away
don't do
from...
that. I get it.
It does. It affects a lot of people. And that's also why I don't let my child use the word that you talked about, the N-word.
Yep.
I don't let my kids say that. I don't care if my son is African-American or not. He'll never say that word. I'll slap his mouth. When he goes home, the same thing there. I'm going to raise him, and my son here, who's basically my family's like a United Nations ad, Demetrius. We got all kinds of colors in my house, and I love that. And I love that because I'm teaching my kids to just let's love each other and let's love everybody. You have a heart just like I have a heart. You have a brain just like I have a brain. You have feelings just like I have feelings. What your skin looks like doesn't make a lick of difference to me, and it shouldn't make a lick of difference to my kids. So if my daughter brings home an African-American boy, great. If he treats her right. If he brings home an African-American woman with this amazing afro and this awesomely beautiful dark skin, I'm going to say, fantastic, she a good person.
Right.
That's what we all need to be doing, right?
It's the only thing that matters.
That's the only thing that matters. Love is love.